Hi y'all, Kraken Latte here. As a quick announcement, the leveling guide is in the works, and I'm working to make it as helpful as possible, so expect that sometime next week. As for this video, I'll do a little tutorial of the new 8.3 auction house, as well as go over how to use TSM for its very basic features. Just to preface, I'm not a TSM or auction house guru, but I figured I'd share some basic things. Let's go over the new 8.3 auction house first. Not only did it get a facelift, it got some functionality changes too. So here's what it looks like with no add-ons on, if you haven't seen it already. Major difference from the old one. I happen to use LVY, so that's how we'll be viewing it. Just a visual change. First, let's tour the Buy tab. Like the old auction house, everything's organized into drop-down lists so you can narrow down your search. What is new here is how your results are displayed in a nice tidy list. Each item will show you its price, name, item quality, item level, and how many are available. You can also sort by all of these categories. Clicking on an item will bring you to the new menu, where you can then select which of that item you want to buy based on the price. I have noticed that you can no longer see the seller's name. An interesting change. Now the item I just showed you was not stackable. Stackable items get a different window, and a new feature. You can see here that this window is the same, but when you select an item, you get this window. This is a new feature that I'm in love with. You can type in the exact amount you need, and it will pull from what's available. Plus, it shows you how much you'll be paying. You can also click on the stacks as well, to just get one or all of each group. And these are organized by price, which is nice. Another new feature, which I also super love, are the filter options. You can select uncollected only, usable only, upgrades only, and quality. What's awesome here is this new uncollected only option that lets you search for MOG, or mounts or pets, that you don't know. And on top of that, you can filter by level range, which can be used to filter gear by expansion. If you're noticing an orange X in my tooltip, that's the add-on called Can I Mog It?, which is a nice tool that helps better track your MOG collection. Something else that's new is the ability to make a favorites list. Search an item that you want to favorite, like something you frequently buy, right-click it, and add. Up by the search bar, there's a star. Opening this shows your favorites list. The only complaint I have is that it seems to be character specific, as it doesn't seem to show up on alts. Otherwise, it's really handy. Now let's look into the Sell tab. Here's where things are different. Selling in certain stack sizes doesn't matter so much anymore due to how things are bought, so you can just post full stacks of items without worrying too much. What's more is that it will autofill the current lowest price for you. Do notice, however, that it does not undercut on its own. You have to do that manually. I've heard some folks say that because of this new auction house system, the incentive to undercut will be removed. As you can see here, however, undercutting is still happening, and as a buyer, I would want to buy the cheaper items anyways, and not buy if I feel it's too expensive. Now something curious is here on the Sellers tab, you can see the sellers' names, unlike the Buy tab. Items that have multiples will list the names in the tooltip. Plus, if you want to match a higher price, you only need to click on it. Something worth mentioning is that there are still deposit fees. There was a rumor during 8.3 PTR that the fees had been removed. I really hoped they were, but they have not. They have been lowered though. Not sure by how much, but I have noticed I've been paying a lot less in fees after my daily posting. Two more small things here are the ability to set the posted time for your auctions, and the option to allow bids on your auctions. The default is 24 hours, and buyout mode is checked. I usually just leave them both at the default, it works out pretty good for me. Now with the Auctions tab, this simply shows you a list of your current auctions and how much time they have left. If you opted for bids, this will also show you if someone has bidded on an item. Plus, you can cancel your auctions here if you want to. Just know that you won't get your deposit back. That pretty much sums it up for the new auction house tutorial. Let's move on to a basic how-to for TSM. If you don't already have it, you'll want to pull up Twitch and grab two parts, Trade Skill Master and Trade Skill Master App Helper. Links to both are in the description. If you don't want to use Twitch or CurseForge, you can download them directly from the Trade Skill Master website, which I also linked down below. This is where I got mine because I'm old and had TSM before Twitch even existed. Haha, facts. Once you've got these, open up the app helper, sign in, and select your realms. You'll want to keep this up to date, at least for when you post auctions, so your prices are correct. Now let's go back in game and go over how to use this thing. When you pop open the auction house, it will probably default to TSM, which is this window here. To go back and forth, just hit the WoW UI button, or the TSM4 tab, depending on where you're at. Now on the left here, you'll see your list of groups. Yours will be blank, but I'll show you how to make groups for your items, which is required to use this add-on. Back out, and in your chat, type /TSM to bring the TSM options up. Hit the Groups tab, the little plus here, and name your group whatever you want. Now to add items to this group, anything you have in your bags which can be sold on the auction house will show here. Select the items you want and hit Add at the bottom. Now this group contains these items. There is another way to make groups which I super like, and that's by adding it via professions. Get on a character who has the most recipes for a certain profession, open that tab, and hit the TSM4 button here. Now you can already see this is a new window. As a quick note, you can see numbers here by certain recipes. This is gain or loss based on material and crafted good prices. I'm not typically a crafter for selling purposes, so I'm not an expert on how this part works. Back on task, hit the Groups button up top and the ellipses button here. See the Create Profession group option? Click that, and voila! Every crafted item and the materials they use are now in a group. I recommend doing this for all of your professions, so that you can cover as much as possible. Now that's how you make groups, but to work, these need operations. Type /TSM again, and go to the Operations tab. Drop down Auctioning. This is the important one for us. I don't usually mess with the other ones. To make a new operation, hit the plus and name it. I only use one operation for everything since I'm not too nitpicky on prices. Click the Posting tab here, and we'll put in the important information. Now set your duration. Mine's 24 hours. I find posting daily works best for me. Set the post cap to the max of 5,000 and leave the other two at 0. You can change this if you want. For price setting, I have the bid set at 100% and undercut at 1 silver. This way when you post, you undercut everyone by 1 silver and you don't have to mess with bidding. Now my price strings are nothing special, but they work pretty good for me. Minimum is 90% DB market, and that's database market, which is the historical pricing on your realm. When below minimum, post at normal price. Max price is 200% DB market, and post at max. Normal price is 100% DB market. Like I said, nothing special, but I haven't had any problems and I've been using this for a long time. You can certainly get more crazy with these operations, but I like simple, and I don't have an issue selling my random goods, so I haven't worried about it. If you're trying to be more competitive on your market, however, I definitely recommend looking up how to make more aggressive strategies. My simple little strings wouldn't help you. Moving on. Now go back to groups and we'll assign your new operation to your groups. Click on your first group, hit Group Operations, and under Auctioning, select your new operation to add it. Do this for all your groups. Once that's done, TSM is finally ready to use. Now go back to the auctioneer and make sure all of the groups to the left are highlighted. Then hit Run Post Scan. It will take a minute or two to scan, but once it's all done, spam that post button. Ta-da! You've posted your stuff with TSM. Congratulations! You'll also notice that when you go get your mail, it'll look like this. It totals your gold at the bottom too. It's pretty nice. This add-on has a ton of other features, but like I said, I just use the basics and I'm pretty happy since I'm not into playing the auction house. Alright, I've given you the basics of the new auction house and TSM, so I hope that helps get you started. Anything more than this is up to you, so I wish you the best. Love you! And that's it. Thank you everybody for watching and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like it if you did and tell me down below if you didn't. Hit that subscribe button for more coffee-fueled content and remember, it's never too latte.